We will examine the philosophical lessons from the Meditations and how to implement them in our day-to-day activities in this video. Our goal is to create a contemplative and thought-provoking environment where you are encouraged to consider your own decisions and ideas in the context of Aurelius's wisdom. Marcus Aurelius is a prime example of the Stoic philosophy, which is especially pertinent today. It teaches us to be grateful, to concentrate on the things we can control, and to become resilient in the face of difficulty. Even in the midst of turmoil, we may cultivate a feeling of peace and purpose by incorporating these ideas into our daily lives. Come explore Marcus Aurelius' timeless teachings and see how they might motivate us to live more purposeful lives. When you come across rudeness, a regrettable aspect of human contact is cruelty. No matter how hard we try to be positive, there will always be times when people behave insensitively or hostilely toward us. Through his contemplations in the Meditations, Marcus Aurelius provides us with insightful guidance on overcoming these difficult circumstances. He serves as a reminder that ignorance, fear, or internal problems frequently motivate human conduct. Knowing this can aid in the development of empathy, enabling us to see past the current suffering and see the common weaknesses that all people have. It's important to stop and think when someone is being cruel to you, rather than acting on an impulse. Aurelius reminds us that even while we have no influence over other people's behavior, we still have power over how we react, which emphasizes the need of being composed. We have the option to reply with compassion and love rather than with rage or bitterness. This does not imply that we should put up with abuse. Instead, it means that we should handle the circumstance with empathy. Breathe deeply and focus on the greater picture as a useful strategy for keeping your cool. Think about the likelihood that the individual displaying rudeness is dealing with personal problems. Reframing the circumstance allows you to react wisely instead of instinctively. Furthermore, responding with compassion can have a cascading impact. A small gesture of empathy or a kind remark may ease tension and perhaps motivate the other person to behave differently. Through emulating the tenets of Stoicism, we may turn unpleasant experiences into chances for development and community. Everything is subject to interpretation. Our interpretations of the events also play a significant role in shaping our experiences. This concept is in line with Marcus Aurelius's teachings, which placed a strong emphasis on the role attitude plays in overcoming obstacles in life. Our perception of a situation has a big impact on how we feel about it and how we feel overall. Think of a work-related setback, for example. It may be perceived as a failure by one individual, which would make them feel inadequate and frustrated. On the other hand, someone else could view it as a chance for development and education. This change in viewpoint may turn an experience that could have been bad into a worthwhile learning opportunity. We may manage our emotional reactions by realizing that our ideas create our reality. An essential part of this process is confronting negative beliefs. It's simple to become caught up in a vicious cycle of pessimism and self-doubt when faced with hardship. However, we may change the emotional terrain we find ourselves in by deliberately rephrasing our ideas. Consider asking yourself, what can I learn from this experience? As opposed to, I can't believe this happened to me. This small adjustment can promote resilience and a happier mindset. Handling criticism is another such. Even while it could hurt at first, accepting criticism as helpful criticism instead of seeing it as a personal jab might help us improve. We equip ourselves to handle life's ups and downs with grace when we adopt a mentality that aims to comprehend rather than react. Everything ultimately comes down to how we interpret our experiences, and we may improve our mental health and resilience by developing a positive outlook. Your body and its senses should be subordinate to your mind. According to Stoic philosophy, obtaining inner calm and resilience is largely dependent on the link between the mind and body. Marcus Aurelius tells us that although our bodies experience pain and anguish, our minds are capable of transcending these feelings. According to this viewpoint, mental discipline is crucial for overcoming obstacles in life and for keeping emotional and behavioral control. We can develop mental resilience by realizing that bodily experiences are fleeting. Whether it's physical pain, exhaustion, or emotional suffering, it's important to keep in mind that our ideas have an impact on how we perceive discomfort. We may lessen the negative effects of physical suffering on our general well-being by teaching our thoughts to concentrate on the things we can control. Mindfulness is a useful tool for encouraging this kind of mental discipline. By observing our thoughts and feelings objectively, mindfulness practice helps us establish a gap between stimuli and response. Grounding ourselves in the present moment can be achieved by practices like deep breathing, meditation, or simply just being aware of our surroundings. Through this technique, we are encouraged to recognize discomfort without allowing it to control how we feel. In this dynamic, self-control is also quite important. Through intention setting and self-control exercises, we may teach our brains to give precedence to long-term objectives above instant satisfaction. These exercises fortify our mental toughness, whether it's suffering bodily agony for a bigger goal or restraining ourselves from acting on impulse. Ultimately, we give ourselves the ability to face life's obstacles with grace and resiliency when we allow our thoughts to rule over our bodies. Remain aware and make intentional moves. In our hectic society, it's simple to be sucked into the maelstrom of everyday existence and end up functioning more like robots than as deliberate beings. Making thoughtful judgments and engaging in mindfulness practices can change our daily routines and improve our general well-being. By practicing mindfulness, we may develop a more profound understanding of our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, which enables us to live in the present moment to the fullest. Simple exercises can be the first step towards promoting awareness in regular activities. For example, spend a few minutes every morning deciding what you want to accomplish that day. This might entail thinking back on your goals and desired course of action in the face of difficulties. Practicing mindfulness while engaging in routine tasks like eating, walking, or even doing the dishes can assist you in staying in the present. You may develop a calm and clear mind by concentrating on the feelings and experiences of these activities. Making thoughtful decisions has several advantages. We are more inclined to match our actions with our beliefs and long-term objectives when we make decisions with intention. Increased life pleasure and fulfillment may result from this. Taking a minute to think things through and weigh our alternatives before responding impulsively might help us make decisions that are authentic to who we really are. Consider utilizing strategies like time blocking, in which you set out certain times for work, or setting reminders to check in with yourself throughout the day to stay present and focused in a busy environment. Exercises that include deep breathing might also help you relax and focus. Adopting mindfulness and intentionality may help us live more purposefully and clearly, which will eventually result in a more meaningful life. Keep going into the world. It might be tempting to isolate oneself and seek comfort from the outside world during uncertain or difficult circumstances. Marcus Aurelius, however, reminds us of the value of participating in our communities and building relationships with people. Since humans are social animals by nature, the relationships we build have a significant impact on our well-being. Engaging in community service not only improves our personal lives, but also strengthens the bonds between people in our immediate vicinity. Overcoming obstacles head-on is essential to personal development. When faced with challenges, it might be effortless to retreat or steer clear of conflict. Accepting these difficulties, though, might help us become more resilient and get a better knowledge of who we are. By entering the ring, we get invaluable experience and acquire the abilities needed to overcome challenges in the future. Every obstacle we encounter presents a chance for development, and by overcoming them, we strengthen our resilience and self-assurance. Furthermore, making a beneficial impact on society is a potent means of promoting purpose and connection. We may make a positive impact on the world by volunteering, contributing to neighborhood projects, or just being a nice neighbor. We improve ourselves and encourage people around us to do the same when we interact with others and strive toward shared objectives. Keep in mind that withdrawing into isolation might restrict our opportunities for development and interaction in a world that frequently feels overwhelming. Rather, let us seize the chances and challenges that come our way, building a feeling of community and making a positive impact on everyone's future. We can design a more meaningful and rewarding existence if we continue to be involved. In summary, as we come to the end of our study of Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, it is important to review the major points we have covered. We've covered the value of perception, the effectiveness of mental discipline, and the need of interacting with the environment throughout this video. Marcus Aurelius urges us to transcend beyond bodily sensations and emotional anguish, arguing that our thinking influences our experiences. We may overcome obstacles in life with grace and resilience if we engage in mindfulness practices and thoughtful decision-making. We also emphasize the importance of connection and community, stressing that isolating ourselves from the outside world might impede our ability to advance. A more fulfilled life can instead be attained by taking on obstacles head-on and making constructive contributions to society. These Stoic precepts are not only antiquated knowledge, rather, they are useful instruments that we may employ on a daily basis to cultivate inner tranquility and direction. As you contemplate these lessons, think about the ways in which you may incorporate Stoic philosophy into your daily life. Every action you do, whether it's practicing mindfulness, changing the way you think about negative things, or being involved in your community, may contribute to a life that has greater significance. We invite you to subscribe to our channel for more Stoic and self-improvement videos if you thought this one was interesting. Remember to like and share this video with loved ones who might find these lessons helpful. By working together, we can build a community that values development, resiliency, and living a more purposeful life. We appreciate your participation in this trip and want to continue exploring wisdom with you in the future.